It's all been such a shock. I mean, when the earthquake hit, I heard this like incredible banging sound, and I was asleep. But immediately it's an earthquake. I don't know how. And then as I was running out my house, the walls were like actually moving and kind of shifting. And I ran out into our yard. And it was completely dark because obviously all the electricity had gone off everywhere.
Rescuers are scrambling to find survivors in the rubble after a huge earthquake in Morocco killed more than 2,000 people. The epicentre was in a remote mountainous region southwest of Marrakesh. There are reports of entire villages being flattened. Author and journalist Alice Morrison joins us now from between the road between Imlil and Asni, which is in the Atlas Mountains. Alice, thank you so much for speaking to us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
No, it's good to speak to you. So first of all then, can you just tell us how you are doing and how the people around you are doing in your community? What has the impact of this earthquake been?
I live in Imlil, which is a small village right up here. And actually, at the moment, I'm standing on the main road, which is completely blocked. I don't know if you can see, but that you can't get round it. So
we can see what. Just describe what is behind you, Alice, for those who are listening.
So behind me is a huge. Assalamu alaikum. Is a lot of trees and rocks and earth that's been flung into the middle of the road. So people are only able to go past on mules. I'm on a bicycle or on foot or on little motorbikes. So we've been rather cut off. We don't have any electricity. We don't have any signal. But in my village, we're all fine. We think only one person died. And then what we're doing now is we're camping out because we're worried that the houses aren't safe, especially the traditional ones.
Gosh, how are you doing for supplies?
At the moment, we're fine because the village is cut off, but the village still has everything it had in it before. But fresh food will go quite quickly. We can get water. We have streams and the water's still working. And most of us use gas to cook on, but that gas will run out. So that's one of the things that's going to run out very quickly, I think. Last night, as I say, I live in a family in Amazigh, Berber family complex. I slept with all the women and children of the family in a big tent in the car park, and the men slept in another tent. So that's a worry as well. And it's getting very cold. We're just entering autumn and winter here.
Gosh. In terms of how you are feeling, so sleeping in the car park in a tent, how long do you think you will do that for? When will you feel safe enough to go back into a building?
It's all been such a shock. I mean, when the earthquake hit, I heard this like incredible banging sound, and I was asleep. But immediately it's an earthquake. I don't know how. And then as I was running out my house, the walls were like actually moving and kind of shifting. And I ran out into our yard, and it was completely dark because obviously all the electricity had gone off everywhere. And I'm just alone in the yard. And it was like being on the deck of a ship. It was moving as if you're on a ship in a storm. So I'm actually trying. I know it sounds odd, but I'm still quite shocked. And since then, I've had to do a lot of. I've been cycling. It took me 3 hours to get down 16 kilometers yesterday, so I could at least phone my parents to let them know I'm safe. Then cycling back, hearing from everyone, because I speak Arabic and Tashil Heat. So I'm hearing from everyone how they are, who's died in which village. I'm looking at the destroyed houses, and it feels very shocking. This is a very peaceful, small, quiet community, and suddenly the mountains have turned against us.
Gosh, Alice, the mountains have turned against you. Gosh, when you put it like that, and just the feeling that you described there of being outside and being like on the deck of a ship on the sea, really helps us understand what this was like a couple of days ago. What are your immediate priorities for you and for the people in the community in which you live?
So our immediate priorities, everyone, as I say, it's very traditional community, so everybody wants to take care of each other. Yesterday, for example, just after this had happened, at dawn, people started walking from Asni, the town, into our village to find their families, to make sure they were safe. And all our priorities are around keeping everybody safe and happy. We're starting to not feel very well because we were trapped out in the cold for a whole night, some of us without shoes. I was in a really thin cotton like night dress and blooming freezing. So first priority is to feel safe again, and we don't feel safe. There were 2 tremors yesterday night, and we don't know what to do. We don't know whether to go back in our houses. We don't know whether to stay out. I don't know whether to stay outside. And I mean, Google is usually my friend, but Google is no friend at all on what you do in an earthquake.
Gosh, Alice, we're really grateful for you speaking to us. The line is just a little bit dodgy, understandably so, and that's totally fine. But it's been really helpful and really informative to speak to you. All the best. Do stay safe, and we'll keep in touch. But thank you very much for joining the programme.
Thank you.